Hello, and welcome to the TopCup podcast, a weekly conversational podcast where two buds pluck out their butts to fill your cups with apocalypse. I don't know.
Apocalypse juice.
Apocalypse.
It's like prison wine, but during the apocalypse.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to say come up with a new witty title when the same conversation is going to be it's going to be roughly the same conversation as last week. But yeah, it's about the virus that everyone is dealing with. I am your host, John Avitas, joined by my other host, hoster,
Yes.
Daniel Rayo. Daniel, say hi.
Hi.
Fuck. I meant to say earlier, Daniel, say hi, Daniel, and see if you would say hi, Daniel.
Hi.
Because
I most
like
probably would have. Yeah.
And then I would have been like, fuck you, Dad.
Missed opportunity. But yes.
It is.
Hi.
Oh, what did he say when he does that? Hello.
Hello. I don't know.
I am your trusty so-and-so. I don't know. Fucking. I got past the first part, Daniel. I don't know where to go now. You know where you guys
God
can go?
for cuts.
YouTube. If you would like to watch us,
You are watching.
that's where you. If you want to watch us, that's where you can go to see our lovely faces and our new format because we can't leave our houses unless you're essential worker.
Trying to spice it up the best we can.
Try to spice it up. Sometimes I go to my balcony. Whoa.
I like our coloring right now.
Yeah, I know. Don't move or else your camera's going to adjust. You have to stay like that for the entire next hour.
Yeah.
Literally not. Yeah, if you want to go, you piece of shit. If you want to go, you can go and watch us on YouTube. That's where you can see our lovely faces in our new format. And while you're at it, if you like what you hear, maybe drop a subscribe or a like or a comment or literally anything because no one does anything on the videos, even though we get more views on the videos. That's fine. Whatever. I'm happy. If you would not prefer to do that, you could always listen to our voices instead of having to hear us. Say you're on a walk, on a jog, in the subway. You're probably not doing any of those things anymore. But hey, who knows?
Yeah, who the fuck's jogging in a subway and like normal times?
You can find us on all podcasting platforms.
Jog to a subway.
Spotify podcast, Apple Music podcast,
Apple
Google
Podcast,
Music
Google Podcast. Did I just say Apple and Google at this point?
Yeah, you can find us on there. And maybe other ones. I'm not really sure the full list that Buzzsprout sends all this shit to, but if you know a spot and we're on it, hello.
If you listen to podcasts, you know.
Daniel would like you to watch us there. I put the most work on.
Listen to us there.
Yes. Well, I put most of the work for the videos. So, as long as you watch the videos, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So make us both happy.
And if you want to keep up with any of us on social media, you can find all the links below. It's TopCup at TopCup on pretty much everything and all social medias. Or TopCup vids, right?
You really don't like order, do you?
What's the order?
There is an order to this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not going over it right now for the kids at home.
I'm sorry. He wants me to go over this order that we have literally never written down. Okay?
But it's an unspoken order.
It's headcanon.
Yeah, and that means it's canon.
Like, I don't see the problem saying it in the beginning and saying it at the end. You just don't like it because you have to make the lower third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's annoying now. It's annoying now, but no, there's an order to things, right? And we're not going to talk about it right now. We are talking about
Well, Daniel,
My ear itching.
when I am the host, I have the power.
I guess.
I am the captain now. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
I wanted to make a joke, but I don't know how bad things would get. Anyways, so, Daniel,
John.
last time we talked about how the coronavirus was affecting us on a personal daily basis.
Yes.
Today, we are going to be talking about a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Like the world.
The world. The world.
That being said, we have some sources, but we do not have a lot because we can't really open too many of these because we are on our phone because we're using our computer's sources. And if we started clicking on stuff on our keyboards, everything would probably go to shit. So, I guess I could get my laptop.
Guess so.
Oh well. Anyways, Daniel, why don't you start off a little bit with you shared two sources with me before we started recording. Do you want to talk about them a little bit?
Not really. Basically,
there's like a lag. I'm sorry. There's a lag. So when you say not really, all I see is just like a stone cold face for a few seconds. I'm like, this motherfucker really isn't going to do it.
To preface this, we've been really wanting to do an in-depth video about the coronavirus for almost 2 months now, since before the shelter in place and stuff. And this was John's idea, and he really wanted to dive into it and how it's affecting like the bigger structure of the games industry and the tech industry and everything, when it was just those big things like GDC and Google I/O and South by Southwest just canceling events, and then
big like congregations of people,
conventions and stuff. But we wanted to do a lot more research, and then everything started kicking off with the shelter in place and working less and worrying and stuff, and so we haven't been able to do that.
And at the same time, it's just like, because before it was just like, I don't want to say really, but like, unless to the average Joe, hearing, Apple, Google I/O, EDC, Mobile World Conference, all of these got canceled, they're not going to know that. For the average person, probably aren't really all that concerned with those events, or do they keep up with it? So there was not a whole lot of like talk about that. So that's why we're like, we could just talk about that. Some light on some of that stuff. Because the way I saw it was, if you already were aware of the coronavirus and keeping up with it, you probably just heard, these events got canceled. If you were a tech enthusiast, or a game enthusiast or whatever, you probably heard of the events getting canceled because of the corona, and then would eventually look up why they got canceled. If you were a fan of none of that shit, you were probably like, people on Twitter are talking a lot. And that's pretty much it.
People seem pretty bummed. A lot of flights getting canceled. They can't get their money back.
Everyone has the flu or whatever the fuck. Just don't cough. What? So originally it was a lot of, and we're like, maybe we should talk about this stuff. This good stuff. It's especially hitting our corner of the world with like tech and video games and stuff. So we were going to talk about that when we really wanted to get the information, because at the time there was a very little information going on. There was just enough that it was scaring some of the big corporations. So we're like, let's talk about it. Now the issue with that, why we never did it, is, as I was telling Daniel, things were changing at such a rate that it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, I guess. We would essentially be having a conversation about, like, an updated conversation, a housekeeping conversation, so to speak, on the subject, like every week. because there were just so much newsworthy information coming out week by week that it would just be like, okay, we addressed it last week. We have to talk about it this week. We have to talk about it next week. Blah 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 blah. So obviously you can just imagine that it was a lot, and I guess trying to do it at the way we wanted to do it, a little bit more research heavy based, uh, it would have taken a toll, especially, trying to do all the research and everything for the podcast, along with going on about our social lives and work lives, because at the time those weren't canceled. Since then, a lot of that has been, but at the same time, a lot more people are aware of it. Almost everyone is aware of it.
Yeah.
So that also like brought down the whole, well, how much information do we need to get out there? How much like analytical evidence do we need to find for all this? And as time went on and weeks passed, it was like, well, very little now, because for the most part, everyone knows about the coronavirus or has heard of it or has seen numbers or seen, if they haven't seen anything, just the fact that you walk out and shit is pretty different is pretty telling. Like, we haven't reacted this way to a whole lot of viruses or anything in the wild. Think of all like the big name ones, the swine flu, the Ebola virus, like all that. It didn't really react this way. So obviously something was up. So that was basically my mindset became, everyone kind of knows there's less reason to look into the analytical stuff because everyone is talking about it now. And I guess how to say, it's kind of like a not a cynical type of view, but it was kind of along the lines of, anyone that would be interested in knowing all the numbers probably has heard the numbers from someone somewhere. And anyone that doesn't know about the numbers or doesn't believe the numbers, we're not going to change their minds. So it was just, you know what? That's more or less what we went into last time, which was just like, okay, well, hey, everyone knows it's a thing now. YouTube isn't demonetizing people for just saying coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
No, as stupid as a thing that they like. That, let me just say real quickly, that's something stupid. Again, it's an issue with YouTube that they've always had, that they cater very heavily to their advertisers, but it's just like, bro, you are one of the most dominating platforms. And you trying to silence this makes it trying to sound like, oh, it's a deal. It's just like, it's not gonna make our our donors happy. So let's just not, or our partners happy. So let's just not worry about that. But now they're like, okay, you know what? This is an issue and we need to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I bet you should have said that from the beginning. Considering, in fact, YouTube is in Silicon Valley, which is right next door to us. And we were the first ones to shut down. You think that they would be like, huh, maybe it is a little bigger. Like, a lot of these people are smart. So it's just like, bro. Anyways, that's besides the point. Where was I going with this? Right. So that's what was last week's episode, was just like, okay, well, everyone knows about it. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone has their ears they have been talked off about the subject. So let's just go in with the mindset of everyone knows. So let's just say how we're dealing with it. So now this episode is the more, okay, so how is this shit going to affect everything else? How is it going to affect all the things we know and love? Some of it we might have some sources for, and some of it is just more, if you know, you know. You know?
And yeah, some of it's just kind of hard to avoid stuff, because it's everywhere. I mean, if you have social media whatsoever, it's gonna hit you sooner than most, but kind of hard to miss a lot of these things. the first article that I have coming from IGN, updated on the 28th, is nice.
It's all good.
Is every movie release date delayed because of coronavirus? Because it's something we care about.
Right.
Especially because, you know, movies are the kind of a big social gathering thing that everyone kind of likes doing, except for one person that I knew way back when.
And it takes up about 50% of the topics on our every single podcast.
Yeah. But no, it's really interesting to see because you got to really think about a lot of the shit that's happening because of these movies getting pushed back or just not releasing this year. And speaking of that, Fast and Furious 9 is at the top of the list, and it isn't coming out until next April.
A whole year.
Not a few months from now. Next April. I
didn't even know about that one.
It was supposed to come out very soon. Very, very soon. Does not seem, for some reason, that IGN has the original release date here. But yeah, no, it was supposed to come out within the next few weeks, I think, if I'm correct. But now it's not coming out till next April. And like, what the fuck? Like, I know, you know, it's Fast and Furious, whatever, but still, like,
it's a big franchise movie.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a huge franchise movie.
It's not like the greatest movie series in the, I mean, to some it might be, but like, it's not like the number one movie series of all time, but it's a consistent movie series.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the same as like Call of Duty. If they said, hey, we're not going to release a game this year, everyone's just like, wait, what? That doesn't sound right. Those are not two individual variables. Those are like very
intertwined. Yeah.
Intertwined. Yeah. So yeah, I actually didn't even know about the Fast and Furious one.
Yeah, and we'll do our best because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about, but we'll do our best not to linger on too many movies, just sort of the bigger ones. Next one is No Time to Die, which is the next James Bond film. I believe Daniel Craig's last, even though I think Spectre was supposed to be his last, but now he came back.
I thought the one before that was supposed to be his last.
I thought you only wanted to do one.
Yeah.
I think so the movie is set to come out pretty much late November now. This year, thankfully.
Okay.
I don't know how many people were looking forward to a new Bond movie because Spectre wasn't very well received, but it's Daniel Craig being Bond, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. The one that pissed me off the most is Mulan. Mulan was supposed to come out 3 days ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was very excited for Mulan. And yeah, it seems to have been delayed indefinitely. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No new date has been given at this time.
Interesting. Do you have any more? Or
oh, yeah, there's a lot, but I'm just going to run through them. A Quiet Place 2, been delayed. Yeah. As of now, not a scheduled new date. A movie called The Lovebirds with Kumail Nanjiani. Fucking love that guy. I would watch anything that he's in. New Mutants getting delayed for the obscene time. Not sure when it's going to come out, but yeah. A movie called Antlers, which I'm not familiar with. Blue Story. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway.
No.
It's been a long time since we got a Peter Rabbit movie. Lord knows we need it. No, Lord knows we need it now more than ever.
It was last year.
Was it last year? Was it
2017 or 2018? Right?
I don't know. Anyway, Black Widow, which is a big movie that's getting pushed back. Personally, I'm not too broken up about it. I'm not in a rush to see the Black Widow movie. But yeah, that one got pushed back. So, oof. Spiral, which is what I'm interested in, is Chris Rock's
2018.
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah. But you said a long, long time. Okay,
That was a
motherfucker, it
long
wasn't.
time
It was
ago.
2 years.
2018 feels like 1,000 years ago. But yeah, Chris Rock's Saw movie was slated to come out on May 15th, but now it does not have a new date set. Antebellum with Janelle Monáe. I'm not familiar with that one, but Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Oh yeah, that one looks so good.
Minions, John.
And hey, man,
people need the Minions.
those are movies that are just like, you know what you're gonna get. Just go in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know why you're going. Like, I don't care how big of a movie buff you are. There are movies that you just like going into, shutting off your brain and looking at all the funny colors, all the funny
Hearing
jokes,
the funny noises,
and just going like, these guys are so stupid. Like, they sold the powerful device that can end the world for a rock. Look at the jokesters.
which leads me into the next movie, Trolls 2, Trolls World Tour. But that one is coming to on demand, I believe.
Yes, just like Invisible Man did.
Yes, just like Invisible Man did. But
Okay.
that one is already out, as is
Right.
Birds of Prey, Onward, and a few other movies that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I believe DreamWorks is releasing Trolls April 1st. Let's see.
So in like a day or two.
No, it looks like original release date was Oh, it's lined up with its original release date of April 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get it pretty soon.
Okay, so getting into that. I don't know if I talked to you about it. I'll be honest. Without these face-to-face interactions, a little bit harder to remember who I'm talking to, because all I hear really is just voices.
I hear voices in my head.
I do remember talking to Joelle about this whole movie thing, getting into like the whole bulk of it with the tech stuff. And it also came up when talking about Brianna's job, is how interesting it is that some of these movies are going straight onto demand. Because obviously it's a thing that they can do. Clearly it's been a thing that they can do for a while. If Trolls is already able to be viewed in like by the time the movie was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
So my main thing is these whole, okay, wait like 8 months until after the first movie air screening to like release the DVD. It's not necessary.
No,
you know?
hell no.
I mean,
No.
like, it's not like that wasn't known. Like, I think we all know it's just so that way they can rack up as many sales as they can, you know? And then they'll bring it to DVD. Like, it wasn't something that we were like, oh, it's impossible technology. It's just more like, they want to make more money,
Yeah.
you know? And that's fine. And then, like, but we were just talking about how, like, how convenient it is for us, the consumer. I understand because you cannot make the same amount of money. Like, I guarantee you, Trolls and Invisible Man, but Trolls specifically will not make the same amount of money as it would in theaters, because while you might have more eyes, how many eyes are paying for it?
Yeah.
You know, like, you go with a group of 10 friends. I think Joel and I were talking about this, and he brought up this analogy: is you go to the movies with 10 friends, right? All of you had to pay for the ticket. All 10 of you had to pay this $20 ticket. That's $200. Now, I live with Brianna, John, and Katie. I can rent Trolls 2 for $20. Same price as a normal ticket. But the difference is that is now 3 people that they lost out on. They made $20 when they could have made $80. Not including concessions and all that. So, or memorabilia or merch, you know. People still buy that stuff, surprisingly. Even though they're stupidly overpriced, and you can probably get better quality stuff on other sites. But anyways, that's besides the point. My main thing is they're clearly not making as much money. But I wonder if again, I guess it kind of goes, this will be a later topic, but how many companies will realize, hey, maybe this instant market thing might work out or pan out better than how traditional things are. Maybe the movies don't need to take as long. Okay, maybe movies can be in theaters for about a month or two, right? Run their usual course, and instead of waiting 6 more months until a DVD comes out, have it right then and there available to rent on like streaming platforms for the next few months, and then after that, then maybe bring them to DVD. How would that work? Like for a physical copy for people that want to own it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like something that like might change it. And I think I was telling you, or I was telling Joel, on the thing that Brianna's official notice, it was a small paragraph, but it talked about how because of these movies being one, postponed, and two, any movies that are still coming out, how they're going to be on DVD or for rent, and therefore probably won't even be in theaters, how that's going to affect the theater market altogether. And so they're like, even if coronavirus like blows over by November, because there won't be any fucking movies available, we don't know when we'd be able to open. And for all we know, it could be till like February, you know?
Yeah.
So I just would, and like it was a small thing. And like I said, there's currently only 2 movies that did the DV or the rent thing. The rest were all postponed. So it was just really interesting to see like how that affected them so much. But yeah, no, I find it interesting for the movies that were already slated to come out quite recently. Why like Disney? Why they decided not to do the rent straight onto demand kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because surely they're losing more money by waiting indefinitely
Yeah.
than they would have if they just released it. At least they could have made something. And I think the other thing is, for the most part, I feel society as a collective would rather we get the movie straight onto demand. What else are we gonna do at home? No?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean that's a way bigger conversation of
right.
the lifespan or the current lifespan of the movie theater. Like
Yeah.
we live in a very streamable world, and people just would prefer to stay home and watch the movies that they enjoy. They can have a viewing party. Those can be a thing again. But yeah, what you were talking about earlier is that they're gonna lose a lot of money on that.
Yeah, so
but,
I understand why they never did it, but like, yeah, it's just how many. I don't know.
Yeah, sooner or later it's gonna be become a supply and demand thing,
Yeah,
and it's gonna lean a lot on the demand of we don't want to go to movies anymore. We want the movies to go to us.
Yeah, because like I feel like if anything, for at least the tech industry, any platform that was holding on to more traditional styles and values, I feel in a way this is a unforeseen wake up call.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, traditional values, fuck streaming. You'll get it when we say. And now this is all coming, and they're like, fuck, you might need to just start streaming.
Yeah.
And obviously, once we start doing that, I don't see people going like, all right, no more streaming. I'll go back to the movies. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna be gonna be a hard turn back.
Yeah, were we talking about it? Again, it could have been with Joel.
No, definitely was not
Xbox.
Us. Oh,
Xbox streaming?
I mean, most probably, yeah.
We were talking, I just remember I was talking about how, like, imagine how well Xbox would be doing right now if their Project X and everything was out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll save that for a bit because I do want to talk about console stuff in a bit. To wrap it up for movies, or to bring it back to movies and eventually wrap it up. yeah, it's just I don't see a whole lot of people being chill with like them postponing. It's the idea that like, hey, for the most part, everyone's gonna be trapped in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sad reality. So while you guys might not be making as much money, wouldn't you rather still make some money, make these things streamable content, and stream it to us? Disney, you have Disney Plus. You own that shit. Make Mulan available only on Disney Plus, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can rent it or stream it only on Disney Plus. Fuck Netflix, fuck Hulu, Amazon. They don't have to get it. That's fine. Only on Disney Plus, incentivize more people to get that app, which by the way, so many people got.
Yeah.
And they had to do so little marketing. I'm sorry. They were just like, hey, it's a thing now. And people were like, fuck, yeah.
Disney might as well be Apple.
They have a good app. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's better now.
Better now, slight tangent. One thing I really like, the app, if the show is in SDR standard, it just plays it. And if it's in HDR, it turns on your HDR availability on your TV or on your Xbox specifically right when you start that video.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's fine. That's perfect. Not like Netflix that you open up HDR on Netflix. This might be only on the Xbox. I don't know about the TV, but I think it's also on TV because it affects John's. But you open Netflix on the Xbox in HDR, everything's in HDR. You can watch fucking Grey's Anatomy. It's gonna look washed out because they're trying to make that shit in HDR. And I'm like, it's not for it. Netflix, take a page out of Disney Plus's book. Anyways, going back to it, Disney, Mulan available. Why? And this is what my main thing is. Everyone's staying at home, right? Everyone's bored. Some people are getting, like the law of their pre-existing mental illnesses, maybe like playing a lot of what is it? It might be affecting them more. Loneliness is a shitty fucking feeling, and a lot of people are feeling it nowadays. So, what could help combat that would probably be something that makes people feel like things are somewhat normal. That being still getting to see these movies, If you were an avid movie watcher and that's what you did with your family, like Brianna's family, so to speak. I just want you to know, Daniel, your video went to shit. You were frozen and it is so bad on my screen. So you might want to turn it off and turn it back on. Anyways, I'll continue with what I was saying. Brianna's family, they were a big movie. They would go to the movies as a group, and like I don't remember which one it was. It might have been the Marvel movie, but they'd go like in their onesies or whatever. I did it once. It was okay. I'm just not a big fan of wearing a onesie in public, but I get it. Whatever. Family tradition for them. Anyways, now what happens when, because of the situation nowadays, they can't do that? Well, they need, for families like that, I feel like something that makes it seem like their lives are still somewhat normal is being able to look forward to these movie releases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not in a big theater anymore. It's still at home. You can just be like, hey, guys, don't worry. Endgame's not in 2 years anymore. It's still getting it. Like, imagine if this were Endgame. I've like a lot of people, like, just think about how depressing the situation is in general for everyone.
People would take to Twitter. That's how I imagine if it were Endgame. People would take to Twitter and be like, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, fucking Hemsworth and shit. Like, someone be like, pressure Disney, pressure Marvel, put it out on streaming. I'll pay all the monies.
Yeah. But like, that's the thing, it's just like, think about how mad people would be and like how soul crushing that would be, right?
Yeah.
Along with all the shit that's happening. So if they still allow that stuff. And, it's not as the hit isn't as hard to take. Like, hey, stay at home. Movies are closed. You can't go out bowling. You can't go out drinking. Yada, yada, yada. Right. And it's like, fuck, that sucks. There were a lot of movies that our family was looking forward to go seeing because it's our little tradition. Then you have a big movie company or whatever, like Universal, Paramount, whoever, just like, hey, all of our movies that were slated to come out, still coming out. They're going to be a rent. You can get them on these platforms. We're still going to push them because we still want to give people movies.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's that kind of enters a different conversation as well of like who has access to streaming content. Like, yeah, a lot of people have phones and computers and stuff and friends, I guess, but some people can't afford to have Netflix or Disney Plus or even internet, hell, or even phones. And sometimes the theater is the one place that people can go at, you bug the shit out of your parents or anyone that can take you, or you go to the movies with your friend or something, and you like think of like being a kid again, like,
yeah,
like if you didn't have access to all the stuff that we do now, then going to the movies is like your only way to consume that content, which really sucks, right? Because in this current situation that's not possible. So even going over to a friend's house and it's like, hey, I have Disney Plus, like we can watch Mulan, I'll rent it, whatever, my mom said I could, and you can't even go to a friend's house and just hang out with them and watch Mulan and then go home,
right?
Like it's kind of a whole mess with movies. And
no, yeah, I'm not saying that there's a surefire solution. I'm just saying I feel some is better than none, or some is better than none.
No, I agree with you there.
So it's just like, yeah, not everyone has streaming, unfortunately. Who knows? Maybe this might make companies overdrive and be like, hey, we need to start getting more people out there. Verizon, for one, they were like, hey, we're going to be upping hotspot. So they're going to make it so that way any hotspot that was already available is now free. And they're raising the data limit on it. So I could turn on my hotspot. I don't know for my phone, but if I turned it on my phone and Brianna connected to it, it would be slightly faster and there would be more data that she could use. Public hotspots, like I guess the ones that would be in stores or whatever, or I think sometimes they have it at like community centers or something like that, where they have like public hotspots. They were going to broaden the range of them and up their data, stuff like that, like just so that way people can have internet. And I guess that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I don't know what companies would, but if it were possible, maybe Disney could be like, hey, we partnered with, okay, so like Disney Plus is free, right? So all Disney Pixar movies are going to be coming to Disney, right? So Onward, for instance, Onward and Mulan, it would have been like, hey, Disney Plus is already free. You can rent these two movies. It would have cost the exact same as going to a theater. Yeah, some people can't do it, but there's a good amount of people that still can. And unfortunately, to try to make people, for the better majority, we want to make their lives just a little bit better than how it is, given the circumstances. So, hey, you can stream our shit using our app. Other companies, Universal and Paramount, it'd be like, hey, we have like these 5 movies that were going to be coming out this year. We're teaming up with Hulu. We are teaming up with Amazon or Netflix. We will be releasing all of our movies on these subscription services, and they have agreed to do a bundle deal or whatever the fuck, to make it so that way you can get there as long as you're going to be watching our. Maybe you can get a subscription half off or 75% off. Whatever the fuck, you know, I don't know the semantics. I don't know how hard that would work. I understand that a lot of it kind of sounds like wishful thinking, but I'm just saying that I feel that there were steps that could have been taken that kind of like could still generate some revenue, even if it's not revenue right now. Like, oh, it didn't make the $50 billion that they were planning on with this movie. They only made 30. You know, it's like, yeah, but now going forward, people are gonna be like, oh, but this company did. You know, like, hey, Disney didn't do it, Universal didn't do it, Paramount didn't do it, but fucking whatever studio, you know, they
Insert
did it.
studio.
I don't know, Illumination,
Illumination.
Lionsgate, something like that. You know,
Yeah.
they teamed up with someone and they made this possible. So hey, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say that will instantly make people go like, "Oh, their shitty movie looks good now." No, and they probably still won't see it, but might be more inclined to be like, "Hey, they do this deal now. Maybe I'll watch it." You know, I don't know. It just good karma in the company, and hey, the more karma a company has, I think they tend to do better. I don't know the statistics on that, but they usually are a little bit better. Like the only time a company is really bad and people still use it is that they have to do it begrudgingly, like Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, I guess, I suppose. But
Amazon.
either way, Amazon. Hey,
People don't like Amazon, man. Can't fight that.
don't.
Can't fight that.
I can't fight that. I just I like Prime.
Yeah, same. No, I definitely get what you're saying there. Going to the movies and everything and having that accessible to you, you know, whether it's a family tradition or something that you were looking forward to, or something that can get you out of the dumps and back into
Keep
a good
morale up.
Yeah, and back to a good headspace. You know, even if it's for brownie points with the world, like it'd be nice for Disney and like the bigger studios and stuff to release their things in a more accessible fashion. But
Yeah, because
you know, I don't see it happening soon.
Yeah, I don't see it happening soon, or if not ever. I'm just saying, like, again, kind of the brownie points, karma points, whatever you call
Yeah.
it. Is like when a company usually shows that they care more about the individual customer than so much themselves, it usually reflects pretty well on them. And like, it's especially when you're dealing with a case like this where it's like, you're going to lose money regardless. Like, you're going to lose money. Might as well do it and still make people like, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to just be like, hey, Mulan, why didn't you come out? Trolls came out. What the fuck? Like what was your reasoning? If you can show us like a fucking contract that says you couldn't do it, hey, that's fine. I understand. But if you're just coming like, oh, projected sales didn't seem like they would cut it. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. No, like, hey, that's not, your sales were going to drop regardless. And I think, well, the other day was saying that, real quickly, was he feared that people would disassociate, or companies would disassociate uh product sales. I don't, basically if they did something right, and then they still saw a loss in number, they would be like, oh, it's because we made this change, or because this item came out and people didn't like it. We need to not do that anymore. And it's like, no,
just draw the wrong.
Still liked it.
Draw the wrong conclusions.
Yeah, draw the wrong conclusions. They would draw that, but in reality, it's more like, no, people just couldn't really use it because of fuck this shit, man. Like,
yeah, like
no, it's fine. You guys are on the right track. Keep that up. I don't know what the fuck you're doing over here. Like, that was his worry. Was that companies would draw the wrong conclusions from stuff, and blame it on themselves, their product or whatever, or people just not liking it, as opposed to what may be the real issue, which is the world is not as it once was. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
but
no, it I don't know. And that's just movies, honestly.
as is movies, and we have so much more.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on from there, I think a good segue is going to be games. Um,
And game streaming.
and game streaming, yeah. God, let's see. I think Doom Eternal got released a day early, right? And then
Yes.
Animal Crossing get the same release date or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Nintendo is having a fucking field day, going like, "Hey guys, we don't have any more Switches to sell."
oh shit. God damn.
Because I mean, like, fucking, because it's like a community based in a sense, and I mean, you get to basically just start Animal Crossing. Oh right, that's where I'm getting at, by the way. Animal Crossing is just so big, and then it's just like this really chill, relaxing thing where you easily put in hours into that game. I can't stand it. It reminds me of Minecraft, and those games are both mind-numbingly boring for me. I'm sorry. That's just me. Like,
Yeah.
I can't play those games. Like, it's like I got 24 sand. I made a box around me. I technically have a shelter. I won. What else do I have to do?
I won.
It's like, we gotta survive. There's a pig out there. I'll kill it when I'm hungry. If I don't move, I don't get that hungry.
Well, Minecraft does have a story now, John.
It's like, but what about the zombies? Bitch, I made a box. How are they going to kill me?
No.
I won.
I like Minecraft. We've spent hours on Minecraft. You've seen it. But no, things like Animal Crossing never really catch my eye. I don't know. And especially now, like I've been saying this pretty often, like somehow with nothing to do, I have everything to do. I have everything to do and no time to do it. So even if I wanted to play Animal Crossing, which I was considering, I was thinking of getting it for Alma to see if she would like it. And at the very least, I could just play with Joelle or some shit. I don't know. Right. But I was thinking about getting it, but one of my friends from she's old ex coworker now, but she texted me this morning. She's like, "Do you have Animal Crossing?" And I was like, No, I don't.
You have a Switch, right?
But like I was telling her, it was like I somehow have no time to do anything right now. So and I feel like that is a game that requires time, and any time that I have to game right now is going into Pokemon, and I'm running out of Pokemon very fast.
What Pokemon?
Sword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That game is so old.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing people putting their hours up from Animal Crossing. I saw some person put like 105 hours, and I was like, how? When did this game come out? Was there even 105 hours between now and the game release? Like, what the fuck?
Look, man, people have a lot of fucking free time.
Like, son of a bitch. Like, oof.
I mean, because you're spending your free time mainly just like doing other stuff, like watching stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We just finished season 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, so like, I mean, just imagine if you didn't watch all that Avatar and you just played Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like that's what I feel like a lot of people are just there. They're just going all in. I mean, it helps. I get it. Like, you do that for hours and then you just go, like, oh, the day's over. Oh, I guess I'll go to sleep and I'll play when I wake up. These people are finally getting what he already see. They're becoming addicted because they're putting more than like an hour. But yeah, like they're getting into it, and I guess that helps just pass a day, and no one's gonna get mad. Like, did you do this? I'm like, no, of course not. How the fuck would I?
Why? Because I can do it tomorrow.
Or the next day, or literally any day within the next 3 months. But what was I gonna say? Right, real quickly. I am about to go and make Brianna embark on the Digimon digital monster journey.
Which one?
Adventure 2, possibly Frontier, and then the new one.
The new one that starts soon?
Yeah. Try. Oh,
The
okay.
adventure reboot?
Real quickly. If you haven't had the chance, look up Pokemon Twilight.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 episodes.
They are fucking beautiful.
They are. They're very good.
Dude. Yeah, Brianna and I were watching saw them the other day, and we're like, dude, these are nice. These are really nice. But anyways, yeah, no, because that led us on to like this Digimon thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's supposed to be either takes place before or after Kizuna. What? Kizuna?
Mm.
Yeah, it either takes place before or after that. And Brianna was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "That's Digimon." And she was like, "The fuck are those?" And I'm like,
Digimon.
"Digital monsters." And she's like, and that just led from one thing to another. And I was like, "Oh well, there." And it's like, "Wait, does everyone have Digimon?" I'm like, "No, only Digidestins do." And she's like, and she's like, "What the fuck's that mean?" And I'm like, "They're Digidestins." It's like, sure, what the fuck does that mean? What are Digidestins? I'm like, they're
the box, Brianna.
And no, I said
the box.
I was like, they're the chosen kids, or I was like the chosen ones. Like I kept like saying that. She's like, the fuck, talking about? And then like,
who is that? That's Agumon. What's Agumon? He's a Digimon. What's a Digimon? A digital monster. Are they all Agumon? Well, according to Joelle, they are.
Yeah. And then I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah. So I was like, so a Digidestin is chosen, blah, blah, blah. And like, how are they chosen? Why are they chosen? I'm like, for their destiny to save the world or save the digital world. And they're like, digital world? I'm like, yeah, it's like the internet. It's like, yeah, they have like their Digivice. And she's like, what the fuck? I was like, it's like a Pokeball and a Digidex, but not really. So it was just like that after that. I showed her a little bit of Digimon Try.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is what we had with these kids. This is when we saw them again in Digimon Adventure 2. And we're like, oh, that's cool. And then we got Try. And we were like, holy shit, these kids are actually growing up. I'm like, that fucker. And his goddamn team Pokemon that hasn't aged a single fucking day.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I told her some like thumbs plot points, and she was like, oh, so they get dark. I'm like, yes, they actually get dark.
Yeah.
It's actually good. It's nice. Story. It's plot. Yeah. But yeah, so I got her all on that, and I'm really excited to show her, because then I show her a few clips from the movie, and I was just like, this is the greatest movie of all fucking time, and I want you to understand that. I want you to understand why that whistle at the end of the fucking trailer means so much to people, Brianna. The fucking whistle.